I'm over here standing next to one of my Paniculata Hydrangeas, and I am going to prune them up, if you will, today. I've already done it once in late winter on all of my Paniculatas, on all of my larger Paniculatas, but you can see the undergrowth here that is happening again this spring. And because I've been pruning them up this way for the last 3 years or so, when they get bushy like this underneath, I just can't stand it. I love the look of them being pruned up. If you have recently joined us on the channel, my name is Bobby and I'm really glad you're here. So we are standing in front of a little lime, believe it or not. You can see how tall it is. I cut my larger ones down to about here in late winter or early spring, and you can see how much growth it has put on because they will get huge. I have 3 little limes. Now, as I said earlier, I don't do the pruning up to the smaller hydrangeas I have when they're younger. I wait till they get more mature and about this size before I start pruning them up. I will cut a few branches underneath the younger ones just so that I can weed and weed eat and mow or whatever I'm doing around them. But when they get this size, they become multi-trunk trees for me. So because your Paniculata hydrangeas bloom on new wood, it won't hurt to do this whatever time of year you choose to do this. And I'll be forfeiting a few little blooms, but they're really not much here on the bottom. I'd rather have the multi-trunk tree look than I would all of the bushiness underneath. And it also gives you another opportunity to plant under there if you choose to. So some of the tools we'll be using today, these are my short-handled loppers. I got these at Walmart and they were $7. This is one of the best tools I have in my gardening toolkit. I love this. Then I have a little pair of bypass pruners from Fiskars. I'm not sure which ones we'll be using. I also have my little mini chainsaw from SeeSii in case I need to cut off any of the bigger branches. And I did cut quite a few off in late winter of the bigger branches, but we'll see what we need to do. So let's just get after it. I have my pop-up bag to put all the debris in and we'll get after it. I'll be able to give you more of a side view on another one that we'll be doing. But for now, I'm just going to go in here and all of these larger limbs that have just started leafing out, then I'm just cutting off. A little saw out for there. Personally, I think it's better for the health of the shrub anyway to have that airflow underneath. I also prune up my lilacs. Even though they bloom on old wood, I prune them up at the bottom, and that just gives it a nice rounded look at the top. Oh yeah, let me take a look in the camera and see. Oh yeah, that looks so nice. So much nicer. I love it. So we've got a branch in here that's just growing straight up. It's actually a sucker that I should have cut off a long time ago. It's pretty big around. So I'm going to use my little SeeSii mini chainsaw to cut that off. You can see the diameter. It's pretty big sucker. I should have removed that a long time ago. All right, so let's move to the other ones on the side of the house. Okay, so you can probably see a little bit better over here because it's not so sunny. We have a lot of branches that just popped out. This was all completely pruned up and we've had a ton of rain this spring, which is good. I'm thankful for that. We also had a really cool late spring, and so I'm just now getting buds here on my Paniculatas, and I really should have had some blooms by now, but not quite yet. So we'll just get in here and see what we need to do. So you can see this here, I need to take my saw, this one and this one. I'm not sure why I didn't do that this past late winter, but these need to be cut off. They're dead. Although they were producing some suckers, they're basically a dead stem. think I'm going to get my saw and cut this entire thing off. That way I won't have to cut individual suckers off. Oh, I see a really big limb here, part of the trunk that needs to come out. So here's another very old sucker that I didn't take off in late winter that needed to come out. It was just growing straight up, and that's definitely was a sucker. I see one here, but I'm also wondering if I should take that out. Let me see. Yeah, that just really helps with the growth and the production of the strong branches. You can see how much better this looks, how good that looks. At least that's my opinion. Once they get this size, I love the multi-trunk look for these, just making them into a multi-trunk tree. So I have one more that's this size that we will take a look at. This one's kind of in between the other two we were just working on. And this little bed, this is Snow on the Mountain. This is a perennial, which is kind of aggressive. It will get everywhere if you let it, but I'm trying to keep it contained in this bed, and I have columbine and a couple of oriental poppies in here during the spring. So when the columbine is blooming, the Snow on the Mountain, it's a euphorbia. It's a type of a euphorbia. It is real small, so it allows the columbine to bloom, and then once this grows, it covers up all of the growth or the old dying foliage of the columbine. But as I said, do be careful where you put it because it is a bit aggressive and you have to keep it tame. So I'm thinking that this entire branch here needs to come out, and I'm not sure why I didn't see that this past early spring, but I'm going to move this little bird bath. My air conditioner. And the air conditioner just came on, of course, when you find the film. Okay, I have a Jacob's ladder also under here. This took out a big portion of this, but oh boy, was that needed. This is a kind of a little dead branch here, but it did have some live shoots coming off of it, you can see. Got some euphorbia trying to grow out of this fence that I just pull it out with my hands because it will take over. It sort of grows, I don't think it's a rhizome, but it's like spreads like by the roots. When you limb them up like this, it just makes it easier to pull weeds from underneath. Makes it a little tidier looking, in my opinion. This is a pretty little Jacob's ladder here. It's a perennial. I'm going to cut off the old, no, it's got some more blooms coming on. Just trying to get a closer look here for you. I took the camera off the tripod, but you can see there how now they become a tree form. We're all done with this project. I'm standing underneath the shade of a cherry tree right now. We keep all of our trees limbed up. You can see the flowering plum behind me. We keep them limbed up so we can mow underneath, mulch underneath, or whatever we're doing. I think it gives them a really nice look. And I'm going to put my glasses back on because of the gnats. For my macrophylla hydrangeas, my big leaf hydrangeas, they don't get as tall as my paniculatas or as big as my paniculatas. I do limb up underneath just so that I can see what's going on, have a little bit of airflow underneath, but I don't limb them up to make them multi-trunk or anything like that. Just the paniculatas, and as I said, my lilacs, I do those in a multi-trunk situation. But anyway, this kind of job is so satisfying when you see underneath and you're like, oh yes, I can breathe again. I just don't like all that bushiness, and if you like it, that's totally fine. You can leave them. You don't have to do what we just did, but I definitely love pruning them up. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye. Just a little addendum here. As I walked back to the house, I walked past one of my smooth hydrangeas. I don't do this to the smooth hydrangeas either. I let them be more in the shrub form, but I do, as I said, prune up just a few of the branches underneath so that I can see what's going on under there, and also the airflow of the shrub is better that way. But for my smooth and my macrophyllas, I do not prune them up into tree form.